Last day today at Rondo Elementary. After 6 days, one Friday, and then a full week, 6 days of full time work there, 10 to 6, for this summer boost program. And it was amazing. The highlight of today, Friday, was pretty much just Anna later on throughout the day. The other kids were sweet. I was with Tamron and Tristan. At the end of the day, we were lining up to go outside to play soccer, and they lined up Tristan and Tamron right next to each other. It was just me and them two, and then I put my hands on their head, and I was like, it's the two birthday twins. And it's so crazy how I was literally that when I was their age. And then I asked, are you guys going to get two cakes? And they were like, no, we only get one big one. Then we lined up and went outside, and they played soccer, and just, being funny and cute and kids and stuff. And then also earlier during the day, they had more Kona ice, and Annie found me. And, no, Anna found me. And she had her Kona ice, and she was like, hey, you go get some. You should get some, eat with me. And I was like, no, I don't want any, too much sugar. But then she was like, no, come on, do it. And I was like, no, I don't want any. And then she did like this frowny face and folded her lip and gave me puppy eyes, and it was just too cute to say no. So I was like, I don't really want it. And then she was like, okay, fine, can't you just have ice and no flavoring? You could just get ice. And I was like, okay, I'll get it, but just only ice. And so I did. Went to the Kona ice guy, and I got just a cup of ice. And then half of the kids went up to me asking me to donate more ice, and I was like, sure, so I did for like a lot of them. And then I was just eating ice with Anna, and she just kept dancing and poking me and being funny. And then she said, I want you to work as staff at this school. And I was like, yeah, I wish I could and whatnot. And then Cielo came, and then this other anime girl, and they were just laughing. And then I told them the story of Cuppy. And then she said, I'm your favorite. And then I was like, Cielo's my second favorite. Yeah, you are. And then we had Kona ice, and I just had like 2 or 3 spoonfuls of just plain ice, and I said it was great. And she just kept poking me and funny stuff, and we were just talking and saying how it was my last day and how I was doing like hair flips. She just kept doing her girly hair flips. It was very cute, really cute. And then after that, I had to go with the kindergarten. First to recess, I played tetherball with Tamron. And then after that, we went inside. And then after that, we went to after school. And then we took, Tamron and Tristan to play soccer and all the other kids, and then after that, Tamron and Tristan left, and then I went inside for the movie, and then Anna and Annie finally came inside, and I sit down. Sat down next to this Vivian girl, and Anna and Annie were right there. She didn't see me. Annie. 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 Anna. Yet. But then, after a little bit, she turned around, and as soon as she saw me, she was laying down. They were both laying down, but as soon as Anna saw me, she got up in a crawling position and started slowly crawling towards me like a cat, and it was cute. And then she got to my chair, and then she just started talking to me and poking me and like pretending to I don't know, punch my leg or something, all funny and cute. And then she just kept talking to me and said, "You're so hairy." And then she looked at my hand, she touched it, and she was like, "Oh, it feels cold and wet, but it's not wet." I was like, "Oh yeah, I just watched it." And then I was just talking with her. Oh yeah, I was saying how I'm sad I'm gonna leave her, and this is the last day I get to see her and stuff, and maybe I'll be back. And she was like, "Why don't you work as a supervisor?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to." And at first she was like, "Why? Is it because it's for women?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's only 3 hours a day, and like I need more hours to like actually work for it to be like really worth it." And then she just put a sad face and was like, "What? No, do it." But then she also said, "Be a teacher like Mr. Farr or whatever." And she said, "He's only 24. He's only a year younger than you, and he's cool. He's just like you." And you. And then also earlier, Queena left. Queen. Uh. Uh. Left. And I was like, "It was nice knowing you, 6'7". And then she was like, "Oh, bye. Are you gonna be here next year?" And I was like, "No, maybe, maybe not." And she like said bye in some other language, and it was funny and cute. And she was like 6'7", and then she walked out and left. I said, "Bye, forever. Have a nice life." And I said, "Oh wait, just kidding. I know you're gonna have a good life." I said, "I hope you're gonna have a good life," and then I said, "No, just kidding. I know you're gonna have a good life." And then, back to Anna and Annie. So Anna got up from the floor and started just sitting next to me. Oh yeah, and she got up. She said, "Hey, I thought you were gonna show me your twin. You said you would." And I was like, "Okay, I will." Really quickly, so I got my phone out, and she was like, "Why is it so tiny?" I was like, "It's an iPhone 12 mini." And then I showed her a picture of me and Jason and Marcus, that picture, and then I was like, "Here you go, here you go. Which one's me? Which one's me?" And then she picked the right one, that was me. And then she got on the chair next to me on my left and sat down and said, "He doesn't really look like your twin. He just looks like your brother." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But we're twins. And then she sat down, and then we just started talking more. I can't even remember that much what, but oh yeah. Also, when we were outside walking to Pure Joy, she was poking me like repeatedly, She just kept doing it like over and over again, poking me in both of my arms, like with both of her fingers, back to back too, and nice and hard, and it like felt good for some reason. It felt like, in this weird way, it felt like a hug. I can't explain it, but she was just only poking me, but it felt like a hug, a strong hug, and it was like cute. And then yeah, but then I had to leave. And then yeah, anyways, so we're back in the classroom. She's sitting on my left, and I'm just talking about how I'm gonna leave and all these things and how it's sad. And then she got called to leave, and then she looked at me and she was sad, and I was looking sad. And then she got up and they were getting her backpacks, and she just didn't want to leave either. Anna, she was like supposed to get her stuff, but she didn't want to leave. She just kept talking to me and was like fixing her stuff and whatever. And then I was like, well, bye, Anna. I hope you have a good, nice life, and I know you will. And then I said, you guys made my week. Really happy. You really inspired me. Well, I didn't say inspire, but I said you made my week. I had so much more that I could have said better, but I didn't. And then, I don't know, I said something else. I was like, you guys are going to have a good life because I like you guys. And then they started walking out, and Anna just kept looking back as she was walking out and just waving bye and bye and bye, and so was I. And I was like, bye. And I was about to say, this is regret. I've really been regretting this since it happened. I had an urge to say love you as she was walking away saying bye, but I just didn't because it was like, I don't know, the coaches were all around and it was like, maybe it was going to be weird, so I just didn't. But boy, do I fucking regret it. But oh well, you know, I just said bye, and oh well, I'll never get that I got to say love you, bye, and whatever, because I'll never see her again and stuff. But just a very cute moment, and I was really sad to walk back to my car and walk back to this life that I had, because this 1 week has been a vacation and it's been great, and I really wish I could have stayed like that forever. And Anna and Annie, they really gave me hope and inspiration to have my own kids, to love with them and be with them every day, and a new outlook on life, to have a friend like that every day that just is there and you feel safe with and present and loved on and loved with and just cute and all these things. And it was an amazing experience. Gave me a new hope on life again, that I could have something like that one day. And you know, it's something to live for and hope for and actually, you know, look forward to life. That's such a big deal. It's like I just keep saying it over and over again. It's such a good, big, happy thing, important thing to want to look forward to life, right? And I haven't had that the past couple years. It's been, but in a weird way, with just this one little girl, sixth grader that I met, it's like, I don't know, I see hope in life again. How weird. But it is what it is. Yeah, it was just a really, really great time and everything. And yeah, it was very nice. My 1 week vacation, but back to real life, back to the path that I chose to walk down. I'm glad, you know, I got this little experience. Maybe God put it here for a reason, and I'll just have to go with that. So yeah, see you in the next one. It was a great last day that I got to say bye. Next time maybe I'll get to say love you to someone I really love without hesitation. Without hesitation.